We are live. We are live. I can't wait for Brother Neil Frazier to come on in because I know he's going to put it down. We're live today with Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis. Black men will rise. Their attacks have failed to destroy us. Anyway, I just want to say that when this show shows on LanceScurv on YouTube, don't be shocked that this is about a week old, because I want to remind you that we had a block. We got a copyright strike and a regular strike to the channel that I found out. So we're going to keep rolling on with this on LanceScurv.com. Whenever you see that I'm not around on LanceScurv, I'm going to say it every time, because after years of saying it, I'm quite surprised that even some more regulars say, Lance, I haven't seen you. I didn't know where to find you. Well, I'm going to say it in the beginning of every video, every show, every stream, that if you do not see me live on LanceScurv or don't see any content for a few days on LanceScurv, that means that there must be a community guideline strike, and you can watch any live show on LanceScurv.com on the homepage. I set it up here just for that. So in actuality, I'm going to go over to that particular site, LanceScurv.com, and see if there is anyone there. If not, I understand, because we don't have the mechanisms to really blast it out to every single person. We do have an email list that you can find on the left-hand side toward the top, on the left-hand side, and you can put your email address in there, okay? And we can roll forward like that. Okay, brother is here.
Hey, brother Lance.
Yes, my brother. Yes.
Sorry about that, man. I don't know what's going on.
Don't worry about it, brother. Just as long as you get here. That's the main important part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway.
How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
That's good, man. Yes. That's good.
I'm going to put... Yeah, I didn't have enough room to put down the other stuff. I'm going to put it rolling across the bottom as we speak. So, you know, I wanted to put more, but yeah, I want to put your cash app down there also. I'm going to, as we speak.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Black men will rise. I like that.
That's what I was tinkering with before. It's a different way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not as
I like that.
You know, I'm always thinking of ways to do stuff. I mean, I was out earlier when I gave you that message, and I was like, what could I do a little different? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
I'm on to this. Yeah.
Well, that's bold. I like that bold, those bold letters, you know, and that exclamation point.
Yeah.
And
we got to bring and make them see it. Whatever it is we want to say, we have to be bold to make them see the visuals, the colors. We got to keep excited. That's the purpose of graphics, you know. To make
That's right. And you know, 70% of communication is nonverbal. You know, so when you put out, so when you put out the graphics that you put out, it makes a bigger statement than, you know, what they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So you know, it makes a bigger statement.
Yeah, it's like just like the banner we made right here. You can see that.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I also put the CIA seal and the FBI seal. You know, right next to it.
Okay.
To the counterintelligence program. You know, and make it a little interesting. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You know,
the alphabet boys. Yeah, the alphabet boys. The alphabet boys. You know,
always on our backside.
Yeah, you know, they built their whole system on keeping us enslaved in many ways, mainly economically. But the thing that's so interesting now is the infighting that's going on with them. So everything is backfiring on them right now. And one of the main reasons is because you're trying to stand in the way of the rise of the Creator. How can a man stand against God? That's not possible. So, you
because they
know,
want to be a god. That's what it
yes,
is.
yes. They want to be worshipped as God. And before I get into that, Lance, as always, I want to thank you. I want to thank your listeners. It's always a great opportunity to come on and share love and wisdom with you guys. And looking forward to us getting down to the nitty gritty today.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah,
you
and
know,
we'll put you first on the screen when you're ready.
okay,
We're gonna roll. Yeah, we're gonna
okay,
roll.
yeah, okay.
All right, let's roll. Let's cook it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
It's all
Well,
yours, brother.
again, okay, great. Again, I'm glad to be on the LanceSCurv Global Black Network program. Try to get this set up. Okay. And as always, when I get an opportunity to speak to the family, it's great. I never take these opportunities lightly. You know, with everything that we are faced and tasked with every day, we must stay focused and on point. Um, one of the things that I always see if I turn on the television is someone other than us giving a narrative about us. Whether it's in sports, you have analysts, announcers. Whether it's on regular TV, you have reporters. I don't like to use the word journalism anymore because that doesn't exist. But if you look at the narratives that they paint and always say, it always has to do with something with our physicality. So in other words, we're always put into a 90-degree angle of how our expression should be. But today, we're going to talk about the rise of the black man. And this is a very important subject, simply because we have a whole history of this type of negative actions and attitudes towards us that is documented. So this is not something that Neil Frazier is creating. This is not something that Lance Scurv is creating. This is not something that when you hear other people of color get on and talk about these issues, we're not creating these issues. This is a physical reality that we walk in every day. So let's get that cleared up. Um, there are a lot of things that we can point to. I'll begin by saying that every situation that black males are in, whether it be social economics, whether it be sports, as I mentioned earlier, if it's the music industry, whatever industry a black male is in, he's going to be confronted with the duality of putting forward something that is outside of himself. Because within every black man lies the knowledge that we are under attack and that we are being purposely pigeonholed into certain mindsets and certain ways of behavior. So let's start out with we don't even have to go into ancient history. Let's deal with modern history and the things that we're subject to and why the black man will rise, and even when the black man will rise. You have to you really have to look at the essence of what's going on here. What's really going on here is that we have a set of systems and rules that have been established primarily to keep Black males from achieving. And when I say achieving, I'm not talking about becoming a pastor or becoming a rapper, becoming some kind of music icon, becoming some kind of athletic star, because certainly our men have prevailed in all of these areas. But as the primordial seed of the universe, the mindset that we must have and the paradigm shift that we must have right now moving forward is that we are the guardians of the universe, of the natural laws that exist inside of us. So why do we find ourselves in this condition? And I thought long and hard about this, and I was studying some of the things that I had researched years ago. And one thing that emerges with us, and it goes back to this saying that we don't know who we are. But what has happened is that we have had a narrative and an image painted of us that we ourselves fulfill. And this is at the core of why we are in the condition that we're in. Because now a Black man doesn't want to be a man of integrity or what we know as integrity, or having some type of ethical, universal, natural code that we live by. And so this is outside of our natural selves. Okay, and what happens as a result of this is that we fulfill, okay, these images that has been put forth about us. We fulfill this in our daily actions, not knowing that as the creators here on the planet, that we're endowed with keeping the natural laws in their proper perspective. So why do I say all of that? I say all of that because it has come now to a point where Black men have got to reverse their mindsets, their roles, the way they are perceived in public. Why do we want to be perceived in public this way? And the answer is very simple. It's because we have been given a pseudo form of what you know as fame, fortune, recognition, but none of these things have helped us get out of our condition. We have failed to build. Okay, and I know the show is about black males will rise, but I just want to kind of give a brief synopsis of how we got here, because you can't move forward without understanding and comprehending why you're in a particular place. Again, why we are in this particular place is because the narratives that are put out about us, we fulfill those narratives in our daily behavior. If you look into the animal world, the Black man is very unique in all of creation in the sense that we are the only ones that don't act based on who we really are. Okay, and there's no shame in being who we are, because our greatest strength has been turned around to become our greatest weakness. Because now, because of the blueprint that has been put forth for you, then you think that being a man means to perpetrate harm on somebody. Okay, that's what animals in the wild do. Okay, but you have been taught all of this, okay, by a system that set this up so that you can be, or they can be justified, okay, in the consequences you have to face as a result of this behavior. I'm gonna give you some content. The school to prison pipeline, which Dr. Amos Wilson talked about, is something we see very vividly happening right in front of us. But yet we have failed to move in with any collective force, okay, to eradicate this. I was watching a show the other night, and there was a group of people, and I always try to figure out, why is it when these people are behind doors, coming up with these laws and making up all of these rules and regulations, why are we not there? Why is it that our narrative is not represented? Why are we so fixated? If we are going to allow our kids to be taught in these schools, we should at least go there to see what the damn curriculum is. Because no matter what you say or how you view this, what our children is being taught is what our future is going to be. And you would be really surprised. I was looking at the curriculum for elementary schools here in this area. You'd really be surprised as to what is being taught and what is not being taught. And so, you know, I don't want to talk about religion. We always cover religion, but you can't get away from it. And the reason why you can't get away from it is because it's a form of deception that is rooted deeply within the chakras of our people. And so I wanted to say that to move into the importance of symbolism and why we must begin to show the symbols of our people and the images of our people everywhere, everywhere our kids go, because they don't see these symbols in the facilities that they go to every day. They don't see anyone that look like you and me. And so I want to talk about a very important Black man. And the reason why I am saying to you that the Black man will rise is because it's in our DNA. We are literally the protectors and the designers of natural law. So I want to talk about a brilliant Black scientist and astronomer that you will not hear about in your school system. In fact, he designed and he was the surveyor for the capital of the United States of America, and his name is Benjamin Banneker. The surveyor that was hired, I think his name is Thomas Ellicott, he hired Benjamin Banneker. But why did he hire Benjamin Banneker if he was already a surveyor? It is because of the special gift that you possess as a Black man with an open pineal gland and the ability to map out the stars that Benjamin Banneker was chosen. So what did Benjamin Banneker do? He stayed up all night and mapped out the heavens so that the actual city of DC, Washington, DC, would be on a prime meridian. And so what Ellicott did was, when he came in the daytime, he took the notes that this great Black scientist, Benjamin Banneker, an astronomer, wrote down from the watching and interpreting the stars as he saw them in the heavens and how they related to the earth, the geometrical makeup of the earth. So, long story short, he would use Benjamin Banneker's notes to even survey and design what was on the earth. He couldn't even do that without this knowledge that came through Benjamin Banneker in order to plot out the capital of the United States. Now, why is that significant? Because you're not told that a black man was the designer and surveyor of arguably the most powerful state in the world, or city state in the world, and which is the capital of the United States. And this is very significant. Let's look at another great black scientist, George Washington Carver. What did if it wasn't for George Washington Carver having the understanding and comprehension of how natural laws worked, he would not have been able to save the fertile soil in the South, because from the cotton and all the cotton being grown and everything happening, it destroyed the soil there. But Dr. Carter, because he was connected to natural laws, literally saved the fertile soil in the South so that they could grow more crops. When you look at the relationship between George Washington Carver and the first real billionaire and corporate owner in the United States, Henry Ford. I mean, there were a few before him, but he financed George Washington Carver because he knew that this man had natural understanding of natural law that he did not possess and nobody that he knew possessed. So when you start looking at the significance of the black men who were a part of the development of this country, we're not even talking about the plantation today, but we're talking about your higher purpose as the original man. Because what has happened is you have been tricked and deceived. And the proper way that we are supposed to live as men is we are supposed to be the ones planning the future of our communities. Okay. But how can we do that when we're arguing every day on YouTube or on television or wherever we are about insignificant things that has been set before you as being important, when the whole purpose of this evil system and scheme is to destroy you? Okay, whether it's by killing you in the street, whether it's by incarcerating you, whether it's by keeping you unemployed with no way of actually building a living for yourself and your loved ones. So again, I'm painting this picture so that we can see that the deliberate acts towards the attack on black men are surreal. You can't just act like they're not directed towards us. So that begs the question is, if you know someone is directing these attacks against you, then why are you still functioning in the same manner that created this? In fact, it's impossible It's impossible to bring growth and change from the same mechanism that caused this issue. Okay, that's insane. So I laid this out to say to us first that it all begins and starts with us. Yes, we can blame the dominant culture because they are the ones that have set up these systemic traps that have done all of these things to us. But at the end of the day, we still have the power of decisions and choices. And maybe 99%, if not 100% of our choices are rooted into things that are diametrically opposed to who we are. Now, who are we? So I just talked to you about two of the greatest men that lived here uh, on the planet, right here in our country. And one of the reasons why they never want to talk about true Black history is because you can't tell real, true Black history without telling the story of these great men. Um, Black men will rise. And why will we rise? We will rise because we'll have no other choice but to face this situation that we are in head on. We're not going to be able to run away from it. We're not going to be able to continue to walk in the ways that we walk in, and we're not going to be able to continue to perpetuate the lies that we live by every day. So, how will we rise? Well, let's look at three very important areas that we need to concentrate on in order to rise. One is health. The the things that we are eating now. I love the show that your wife does. I saw you guys up there actually teaching the guy that you need to have more exposure, and a lot of our people need to be taught that in terms of building from the ground up because we always want to kind of hook on to these systems that are already established, but those systems are not going to help us build anything for anybody else. You just basically you're another cog in the wheel. So so health wise is the main issue that we're facing. We all of the food, there is no real food other than what comes out of the earth and what grows in trees, the fruits. So we're facing a tremendous battle with that. Every time I go into one of the stores in predominantly Black areas, there's nothing but sugar products. That's all it is. You can't even get natural orange juice unless you go to one of these little markets they have. And so these are the things that we used to do. I remember how in our own communities growing up that we had our own markets, our own food markets. We didn't go to, and again, here we are, we're stuck in a situation where people are telling us that we're progressing, that this is, the modern way of living. But is it really? Are we really progressing? And, I challenge the brothers that are listening today. Are we really progressing? Have things really changed for us other than the false perception that we have? I mean, so our rise is going to come from us. It's not going to come from any of the systems that already exist. And this is something that kind of is troubling, is that what I'm talking about today, and a lot of the shows that Lance has on dealing with our psychosocial environment and the things that we are involved with, um, we don't seem to really it goes in one ear and comes out the next. We don't seem to really, for whatever reason, want to face the fact that these people are trying to destroy us. Not trying, they are. So at some point, we have to say, okay, we must band together. We must formulate groups that we can deal with different issues, such as the health issue that I just mentioned. And I think really that you guys should start some kind of a health channel, because I mean you really got the hammer on the nail with that one. That's very important. I was listening to a study, and they're always chronologizing all of the issues that we have, health issues that we have. But certainly that's something that we're going to have to. Everywhere I go, I see our black kids eating at different fast food places, and I'm saying people are not cooking anymore. So that is a big area, and that's something that we as black male, because we have a lot of the symptoms that have identified with the fact that we like fried foods, okay, that we're taking these blood pressure medications that's no good for us. Well, not we, because I don't take them, but we have a high percentage of our black men and women taking those. So the rise is going to be proportionate to how, because you can't do anything without taking the responsibility of what it is that you're fighting against and what you have to deal with. And so health is a major issue for us. The other one, and it goes hand in hand with health, is fitness. Even if you get out and just walk some, every day or whatever, that's something that's very, very important. The other two areas that we have to really focus on and we have to change is that black men have got to start dealing with our own personal pain. We have got to be able to talk to each other. I was at a forum the other day, and as soon as we begin to talk about issues that are sensitive to us, then we kind of shut down, or we change the subject, or we. But when other groups of people or men talk about these same issues, they have intelligent conversations about them. And I think this is very important that we begin to show a different image of ourselves to the public, because you have to really understand the power of your energy. Our energy is the most powerful melanated energy on the planet. You have to comprehend how powerful that is. So even when you're not standing up for something, you're still making a statement. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, 70% of communication is nonverbal. So so the second area that we need to focus on is we need to focus on how we relate to each other. You can disagree with someone, but do you have to kill somebody's spirit because they disagree with you? See, these are the things that we learn from a 90-degree calcified system. Okay. And so what that has done is that has shut all of your other chakras down when you are a creator. You are a creator. And if you don't become a true creator, then you become a liability. And so this is what I wanted to deal with Black men and our rise. Because yes, we are going to rise, but not all of us. Okay. And that's the sad reality that we have to accept, that not all of us are going to rise. Because to use some of their religious jargon, you have bought into the Sodom and Gomorrah way of life. You can't represent the creator of the universe and love these things that, and again, I'm not talking like I'm no perfect person. I have a lot of flaws. But the one thing I'm always mindful for is that I make sure that I don't take my flaws and project them on someone else. And this is one of the areas that I have been studying about Black male relationships, is that inevitably, when, let's say, if we form a group, we're going to have this issue of the head nigga in charge syndrome. We're going to have that problem. And again, we know where that comes from. I don't want to go back and talk about the plantation again, but these were things that we were trained this way. Just like you train animals, or you train, dogs to be a certain way. And these are realities that we have to talk to. Something happened to us. It did. And it was deliberate and it was targeted. But now, after we recognize this, then in order for us to be the creators that we are, and for Dignesh to again restore their trust in us, is we're going to have to take the responsibility of where we are now. And when I say we, I'm talking about we. And I don't know why it is that Black men can't get together and talk about our issues and our shortcomings, and why we can't critique the issues that we have. This is all a part of right. I'm not talking about some fanatical movie that they present on TV or in the movies about, you rising and becoming this powerful, whatever. No, that's not what your power is. Your power is natural. You don't have to, but because you are being divided with all of these different things, okay, and being put in all these different compartments, you can't build a cubicle. Because let's talk about communication for a minute. Because trust and believe, our brothers are going to rise. We are going to rise. We are the natural primordial seed of the universe. If you look at any, I'll give you an example. Anything in nature and in the universe borns this principle out. There, in the electromagnetic spectrum of light, in the spectrum of light, there was a time when they could only identify as far as violet, right? But then they did a study where they were able to isolate another type of ray beyond that. But guess what color that was? It was ultraviolet. It was black. So you see, no matter how far you go in nature, whether it's biological, okay, whether it's in the heavens, or whether it's celestial or terrestrial or within us, then you find the same principle of blackness. And so you have to stand on who you are. You can't be a white person, man. You can't be a Chinese man. You can't be anything other than who you are, a black man. And once we embrace this power that we have, everything else will fall in place. But it's almost as if we are afraid to claim our rightful place. This is how we will rise, because there will come a day. And one of the things that keeps me encouraged in terms of this is that there are younger black men, not all of them. The ones they show you on TV is less than 10%, because they want to keep that image and that narrative of having, people with big chains around their neck and saying all these degrading things about our women in our communities. That is the image that they want to project for you while making money off of you doing that. That's the craziest part. But they don't show you the other 80, 90% of our young people. And when I see them wherever I am, I hold a conversation with them. They know what's going on. The problem we have is it's the people my age and within that 20-year spectrum that is blocking them from their creative expressions. So once you embrace who you are as a black man, then this opens the door for the chains, the psychological chains, to come off of them, off of their minds. And how does this happen? I was talking one time about one of the videos that I did on YouTube. I was talking about how if we knew the power that we have just when we connect with another brother, if it could be a natural connection, okay, then the power in that is so strong that it would take an army of 1,000 people to stop that. That's how strong your energy is at the nuclear level, at the nuclei level. Okay. And that same power they have taken and harnessed into a nuclear weapon, a destructive weapon. So, as the original man, it's not in our heart to destroy the planet. We know that there is a direct relationship when you look back at how our people viewed the world before colonization and the changing of your mental capacity and how you view the world and experience the world, that we know that there were the Netaru. Okay, and the Netaru were different aspects of the creator. They were twins, male, female twins that represented everything in nature, with the plants, with water, with the earth, okay, with humans. It represented everything. And so the reason I brought that up is because we always had within us all of the characteristics that define the creator and the creative spirit. We didn't need religion for this. We respected each other more. Before we were colonized, if you look at African history, yeah, they had problems. If you look at the history in the United States and wherever our people are, okay, they were civilized. They didn't, a lot of times when they do these history channel shows, they try to show our people and ancient times here on the continent. And Turtle Island, they try to show them as savages, which we know is not true. We know, in fact, prior to the coming of the European, our people lived in harmony. Now, I'm not saying they didn't have, all cultures and civilizations had degraded side, but for the most part, we were peaceful, loving people who knew and understood the natural laws of the universe and on the planet in which we lived by. And so the reason why I went back and pointed that out is because this is how we're going to rise. We're not going to rise by some of these people talking about getting a whole bunch of guns and weapons and all of this. You have something that's greater than that. Okay. You have something greater than that. Now, I'm not saying I protect myself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going out here, okay, talking about destroying people is not who we are. But now we have been socialized and traumatized so much that we have so much self-hatred and we have lost our self-esteem that we use the same tactics that people who have established this system, we use these same tactics against each other. Sometimes we don't even know it when we communicate. So communication is a very important area for us because this is going to define one of the things that happens. Brother, did you want to get something in here? I'm just going full steam ahead. Are you good? Brother Lance, I didn't want to, if you had
Yeah.
something you wanted to interject, if you had something you wanted to interject, okay.
Oh no, I'm doing it, but when the feeling hits, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I hear you. All right, I got you. So so why is it that we continue with these destructive behaviors? Okay, and so I'm getting to the part where I want to communicate this very important point to our brothers is that the reason why we do the things that we do is because we are constantly being programmed every day by the television, by what's on these different platforms that are showing us or showing the animalistic behavior that that all of us have, okay, but showing it in its most brutal or primal state. Okay, so you have been you have been demoted to a pretty much a person that operates off of instincts, like any other reptile or whatever. You have been regulated to that role. So the first thing we have to do is we have to rise up beyond that level. Okay. Dr. Kachufu, in one of his groundbreaking programs, he talked about the thing that our kids are faced with being popular or smart. And this is the reason why we have to now flip this back around. Okay, we have to flip this back around because you are supposed to be smart. You are supposed to be the one that, who told you that you're not the one that's responsible for helping to set the blueprint of society? Who told you that you are only here for entertainment? And let's say we do get land. Let's say we do get money. Let's say, what are we going to do with it? Who are gonna be the people that are going to be organized, that are going to run the essential needs that we have every day? you see. But we're so accustomed to having the system do it that we don't understand that there's going to come a day when that system is no longer going to do it. Then what? So one of the real strategies that have been used so very, very effective against us, again, because we're compartmentalized, so much, is we can't connect the dots. And I'm saying this to my brothers today because this might help us be able to overcome this, because we cannot rise when we have strings still attached to the ground. We will rise, but we can't rise with those strings still. It's almost like bungee cords. You go up so high, but it's gonna pull you back down. So when we communicate, one of the things that happens in our communication is we see each other as not as a companion, but as a foe. But where does this mentality come from? Because when you look in the history of our people, it's non-existent. Everybody, they may not have done it in the same way, but everybody had the same goal in mind. If I talk to 10 different Black people or Black men, and I say, this is the goal, we'll probably have 10 different ways of reaching that goal. But here's the issue with us. If someone disagrees with us, and I've studied this behavior very carefully in other cultures as well. This is one of the biggest issues that we, in order for us to rise, that we have to work on, talk about, and eliminate. I've seen people want to kill people because of this, or we have nasty communications with each other because somebody has a different position than you. We have to get over this where if someone is not agreeing with your position, but they're agreeing with the fact that we have to achieve this goal, then you don't have any, you really don't have anything to do with the methodology that they use. That's not where your focus should be, or whether or not they agree with what you're saying. Now, if it gets to a point where it's going to put a clog in the wheel where you can't move forward, then of course you got to talk it through. But again, okay, when we communicate, we have to be truthful with each other in terms of what our goals are. Because there are some Black men that I talk to that their goals are so different from mine that I really can't see. And it's not for you to connect with everybody. Okay, that's number one. But when we're talking about a collective goal. We're talking about something that we all, need to achieve. I need some water, huh? We all need to achieve in order for us to rise. Because when we rise, then the alphabet boys that you showed earlier, they are still going to be in a position where they're going to try to use the same playbook of divide and conquer. So you're going to have Black males who are compromised for whatever reason, and all of these things are things that we have to talk about. So our rise is going to happen. But it's not going to happen like a puff of smoke. You know, when you're chopping down a tree, you don't just hit it one time with the axe and then say, "Oh, it's going to fall down eventually." No, it's not. You have to keep chopping and chopping and chopping that tree, okay? And then you might have to get a few other people to help you to chop it down. But the rise of the black male is going to be in proportion to how we deal with the issues that I've just discussed. We're not going to rise because of some type of pseudo religion, or we're not going to rise because somebody becomes a millionaire, okay, and they move to across town, okay. I mean, they can live wherever they want, but the point is, the millions that you help them get, okay, that money is not being used to help rise the people who. So you see, we have to put a relationship between, in order for us to rise, we have to put the relationship between money that we spend, who we spend it with, and how it filters into our community. So it's said, and these are 2-3-year-old statistics, that the money in Asian communities circulate 16 times. Money in Jewish communities circulate 14 times. The money in Latino communities circulate, I believe it was either 8 or 10 times. But the one that's so stunning, and I know you know the answer to it, everybody know the answer to this right now, it doesn't circulate one time. If we get paid on Friday, it's back. If you trace those serial numbers, they're back in the banking system through circulation, or in the retail system through circulation from us on Monday. But the issue is where that money has been spent. See, it's not wrong. The money is to be spent. But the issue is where the money, because, and it's funny, I was standing up, me and my boy was standing up on this major thoroughfare. We were saying, now let's see how many of these people that we know who they are, leave out of our communities and taking what they gotten for that day driving out. And man, it's amazing. The darker the people got, they were coming in. And the lighter they got, they were headed out. So you know what that meant. they were taking the money back to where they live. But their businesses are in our community. But we face an issue, okay, of banking, okay, and they cut us off, and there are black men in power that basically uses the same tactics that the system used to oppress our people. They know that you may not have the ability to build stores in your community. Okay, no matter what type of product or service you have, you may not have the funding to do that. But instead of, and I found out how, I mean, I always knew this, but in every city, they use different methods. Okay, but they'll vote on something. They'll put out a little, because we don't read about these, a little announcement. They'll meet and then they'll make a decision. And then before you know it, there are people outside your community that's coming in, that's building stores. That's how that happens. But because there are no black people that attend these board meetings, or the ones that are on there, it's not enough to sway their opinion, then this is how we are continuously caught up into this cycle. So after communication, The third most important thing that we have to do is we have to establish think tanks. And those think tanks have to come together. It could be on a weekly basis, it could be on a monthly basis, on a Zoom. And we need to start targeting certain situations that we know we have to target. And one of the things that I propose to us, because we get, I don't know why it is that we get funny when it comes to helping each other with money. But if you take, because I was talking to a Filipino friend of mine, he was saying how a lot of times, you know, they don't have to wait till they get paid because they have a network where they go to that network and, you know, but then the issue comes is you have to trust people in order to do this. But we was talking and I was like, well, how much money you guys put in? He said, we just put $5 a month. But when you're talking about thousands of people, I'm like, wow, but I don't know if black folks could do that. That sounds real. You know what I mean? That sounds, and then so they don't have to go to nobody or a bank. If we say, okay, well, if you're gonna build something in the community and we're all a part of it, even if we only have 2% of it or 0.5%. And this is where we have to start thinking beyond what we have been taught, because clearly that doesn't work for us. Matter of fact, it works against us. So I don't know. I'm not sure because let's take the different regions of the country that we live in. There are different mindsets with people that, and I've lived in different regions of the country, but there are different ways of seeing things that, but one thing that is consistent, this destructive male mentality that they have grown in our communities, that the seed of it is manifested, it's ingrained in our community. And now we see it in our young women. So how do we combat that? We combat that by doing what we're doing now. And these type of conversations are not popular. It's not going to get a whole lot of maybe views or a whole lot of people, you know, wanting to tune in, because the other thing they have done with us is that they have created this need to have itching ears. So it has to be something that, you know, that causes us to be so excited about somebody losing something, somebody getting killed, somebody getting threatened. All of these destructive behaviors and all of this energy that we create in our own communities, we have to take responsibility for this. And it's not going to, it's getting stronger. The message is getting louder. They're openly attacking us. They're not trying to hide their visceral poison anymore. They're not trying to hide that. It's an open attack. And not only is it an open attack, it's an attack on all fronts. And so whatever area Black men find themselves in, they are under attack. So what do you have to do? You have to come together and say, okay, I'll give you a prime example. You take sports. If though all you have to take is one team, it don't have to be the whole NBA or the whole NFL or whatever. And they said, we're not playing unless we get these terms set. There will be no more NBA. Do you know what would happen overnight? See, we can't be afraid to use, because this is the other thing that, oh yeah, this is the point I really wanted to get to. Thank you, Patriots. There are people and cultures where their men come together solely just to do. I have seen it, and I personally know. So yeah, we're going to do this. Let's decide on how much, when, and how we're going to do it. And we all ain't got to agree on how we're going to do it. If you take one team in the NBA and they say, we're not playing no more, okay, we got enough money. Most of these guys, if they have saved their money, they have enough money where they can say, okay, guess what? This is what's going to happen right now, okay? This is what our terms are. You get a captain from each team in the NBA, and you sit down with them, and they come up with, and this is how you negotiate from a position of power. But with black men, they have taught us to deal with these systems individually. That's why we never win. You can't win against these systems fighting by yourself. That is not going to happen. And so, yeah, you might have some little individual wins to build your ego up. Oh yeah, you know. But trust and believe that you can't. If you're a single cell and you're blocked in, and all the other cells are outside of this wall that has you blocked in, how does that make you great? I don't care how much somebody tells you that you progress. We're not progressing. Black men are the only demographic in this country that's not progressing, and this is by design. And when I say progressing, people always look at money and say, well, yeah, okay, well, so-and-so got the bag again. Okay, but is this money going to be passed down to black people? No, because all of them are marrying white women. Now, a person can marry whoever the hell they want to. I'm just saying, why is it that other people think about these things? I was just with some people from another culture the other night. They don't talk about the stuff we talk about. We are so inundated with things that have nothing to do with us building anything and moving forward that it is ridiculous. While they're building all of these restaurants, and none of them are owned by any black people. None of them. Not one. Me included. And again,
preach.
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm on one today, man, because the reason I'm on one, brother, is because black men have a tremendous amount of power that we don't know about. We have a tremendous amount. You get 5 brothers and they are set on doing something and they hold each other's feet to the fire. Something gonna come out of that, bro. Something is gonna come out of that. But we have no trust. We don't want to see each other progress, this is the most asinine thing that is gotta get out of our psychic for us to rise. Okay? We got to get this out of our. Okay, you cannot be jealous and envious of another brother because they are rising. You cannot fucking be on YouTube because somebody disagree with you tearing down our culture. This has got to stop. And you wonder why. You wonder why the creator, because the karma that's coming back to us, we have created because we have the strongest energy in the damn universe. So everything that we do is tenfold. And brothers have got to get this in their head. When I tell you, that's why every day when I leave out of here, I'm going to go down, I'm going to look at my brothers living in the tents where these people have put them. I'm going to look at them and I'm going to talk to some of them. So I'm not one of these people like you, brother, how you get out amongst our people and you see what's happening and you report it. I may not report it as much because it's so damn overwhelming. But this could change overnight. You take one black church that brings in thousands of dollars a week, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't have to beg them for nothing. You don't see no Chinese people. I don't see Chinese people. I don't see Jewish people. I don't see none of those people. And why is that? They're not smarter than us. There is no, the black man has the greatest spiritual mind because we are literally a netaru of the creator. Okay? That's who we are. And all this nonsense about we're not going to rise if we continue the same behavior that we continue. I was laughing the other day. I was getting on the train, and these two Chinese ladies, because they're scared as hell of black people out here, Chinese people. Oh man, it was like doing like this and backing up. And I think one of them recognized me from the neighborhood. She tapped her on the shoulder. She was like, no. And so they, you know, so the thing is this image that they have, yeah, because she recognized me, and I guess she was saying to him, no, that's not one. He's not like them. You know what I mean? Or whatever they say.
Right.
They know me from, you know, what I do. And so they got on the train with me, which they hardly ever do, because they wasn't threatened. But the majority of our brothers, man, they have, as soon as you turn on the TV, what do you see? Them carjacking, or them killing somebody, or them, you know, doing all of this. You don't have to do this. Some of our young brothers are so brilliant, bruh. They are so brilliant, and the sisters, but some of these young, but ask them what they want to be. I can tell you the same answer every single time. It's either a rapper or a basketball player, NBA player. And so I said, do you know how many people make it to the NBA? And not only that, do you know how many of them actually last in the NBA? You're talking about less than 500 people. So you got millions of our young people, instead of focusing on areas like becoming an engineer, an architect, or you know what I mean, a doctor, and these shysters, these lawyers, instead of them, we pushing them in these areas, and this is because of these exorbitant contracts that they throw at these. That's not really real money. They're digital money. Okay? So when you get money from any institution, they're not creating money, they're creating digits. They don't have no money. They are creating digits. So when you see these players, they're giving these big ass contracts. I tell you, I learned this when I was living in Atlanta, how they did Dominique Wilkins. And he'll tell a story himself. So I'm not saying nothing that. I just don't like to put people's business out. But Nick is a cool guy, because he talked about how he learned. They gave him, I think it was a $25 million contract. That was big back during that time, right? In the 90s. Nick bought a house for himself, his sister, his mama, bought all these expensive cars. I mean, he was doing it. He bought this club, because we used to go to it. He bought a restaurant. A year later, he's in bankruptcy. And we're like, huh? How could he be in bankruptcy when he just signed a goddamn $25 million contract? Well, come to find out, that's not real money. That's just, I don't know if you want to call it futuristic money, maybe. But it's something that they created. That money has no value. So in other words, he was going in debt through these liabilities, but there was no real money to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? But he didn't, and I guess his agent or whoever was around him, because they be stealing from our brothers. Terrible, man. But some of our own people do it, but they really exploit them. And long story short, Neek was dumbfounded. He was like, how could this happen? And then they, so they finally explained what was going on. I mean, I knew this to a certain degree, but just, it was like, wow, okay. So here's the other thing too. Like Malcolm said, we've been bamboozled. We've been bamboozled to believe that things that they say have value, to believe that they have value when they don't. If it's not a commodity, it doesn't have any value. Okay, so this is the other critical area that we must begin to look at as Black men in order for us to rise. Because, and this is the truth. I hate to say it was the truth. One of the real issues we face too, if you are in a relationship with someone in terms of business or what have you, and someone comes along, like these people who have 100 times more wealth than we have, and say, okay, guess what? How much is he giving you to be a partner with him? Now, no other race of people do this because they know that if you do that, then you are selling away something that's a part of your heritage that you're supposed to be passing down. Okay? But they'll take that bag and they'll undercut you in order to have more, to say they have more than you. And see, these are at the root. These issues are at the root of who we are, and that's because we don't have a financial foundation. So in the rise and the battle that we're fighting to rise, is that we have to be truthful with ourselves about the things that connect us and divide us. And well, this is one thing that I know about Black men that separate us when we are focused on who we are from all other men. There is something innate in us through our historical and heritage, and through our culture and the suffering that has been passed down, that kind of fortifies something inside of us. That when I've been around brothers who nobody else wanted to talk to or even be around. And I know as a former, in your former employment, you saw that what people project on the outside is not really who they are on the inside. You know what I mean? Especially when the lights go out. And so we're fooling each other and we're playing this game when men from all other cultures, they speak truth with each other. So they know that if they fool each other, that they're the best thing that they have going is the fact that they're unified. But what they do with us is they cause us to distrust each other. And even if we trust each other, at some point somebody is going to say, "Oh no, that nigga ain't. I don't believe him." Or this is what I heard about him. And before you know it, all credibility is out the window. Now, there's some, and I think I did send you this information, Lance, about what happened to me, about an individual I've been doing business with for over a year that deceived me. You remember getting that email? I mean that text I sent to you. This
Yeah, we have
person,
about it too. Yeah.
yeah, this person uh, was from a whole different culture than what they, not that it mattered. And I had been doing business with this person for over a year, paying them to do little work here and there, and they're dealing with me. And the scary part about it, because she just contacted me, I finally said, okay, so are you a man or a woman? I don't even know. I know your profile says woman, but what are you, a man or a woman? And she said, well, of course I'm a woman. I'm saying, okay. So it ended up, she was from Nigeria. That's where she says she's from. She said that she didn't want to expose herself because she was in the country legally or something like that, some story she gave me. And that she knew if I knew that, no, she said, but once she found out that I was different from a lot of Black Americans, then she no longer had that fear. And I said, okay, but then you continue to still deceive me. You continue to deceive me. And so this is the point. I brought that up because this is something that the internet has created that's a real stumbling block for us now. And this is why I don't do business or go through anything with anybody that I can't FaceTime with. So, and this is why I like what you do. Because really, if you're hiding your face, you anybody could do a voiceover. If I can't if I can't see you, I could be talking to a robot. I can put my picture up, or I can put my picture. Not saying that anybody on your platform is doing. I'm just saying that this is what the internet has created,
They
where
do it.
you have all these people. Yes, I just found out a couple other people I had been communicating with is not who they say they, and I found that out just by chance with a mutual person that we communicated with, and they brought up this individual, and I said, "Oh, the name sounds familiar," and I said, "Are you talking about so and so?" He said, "So and so." He said, "That's a dude." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, he's using a female picture and using I guess female feelings or however they present themselves to get some kind of sympathy or something from you. Like I have two kids that they don't have nothing to eat, or I have blah blah blah, whatever the reason is, but you're not
Yeah.
who you say you are. So I know that the title is great and emboldened, and yes, Black men are going to rise, but we have some work to do before we rise.
Right
We have
about
some
that.
serious work to do, brother. We have work to do because the other thing that's been created with us is us settling for less than and not bringing each other up. So anybody can take the easy way out. Life is that way. There's the easy way out. Hell, why I got to struggle with that when I can do that? But we know from struggle, things are built. And when you have somebody that has struggled through something like you have, then you have more of something to work towards together. And so
Yes.
this is the third area that I wanted to point out that we have to work on in order to rise is we have to give each other a chance. We have to. And when I say a chance, what I mean is that um, we can't control what other people do. We can't, but in that fear, Black men have created another dynamic where we are literally afraid of each other. There are black men that are afraid of each other, not just a physical fear, but afraid to talk because for whatever reason, maybe they're communicating with the alphabet boys, the ones you have, and maybe they're doing something to help bring harm on you. Um, maybe they're not who they say they are. All of these things, I think, is amplified with us. Because I don't see men from other cultures having the same level of intensity that we have with this. Um, and again, black men, we are hardwired differently. And so, finally, what I wanted to say about this is that the narratives that we are creating is destroying us. Not just the narratives that they have put on TV, not just the images, but the images that we project has a stronger effect on people than even what they see on TV. But the images that we project through our behavior, the words that we use with each other, there's nothing wrong with two brothers. I don't want to say showing affection. That's not the word I wanted to use. But being able to understand the situation that the other one is in. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong. And this is crazy how they have this mindset where you think that's being hard and tough. That's not being hard. That's being stupid. As a creator, you can't lead anything if you're not able to listen and give good, solid advice. You're a natural leader with all the natural laws of the universe inside of you, but yet you're being pulled by a string like a puppet. Or those old yo-yos we used to have that you throw out and it come back. It's you remember those?
Yep.
So yeah, and I know this was a little, I didn't want it to have a harsh tone, but it is what it is, man. We can't continue. Huh?
Tone necessary. The situation is beyond harsh. You know what I mean? The situation is beyond harsh.
Yes.
You have to get down in the mud and tell it like it is. Time is being, and a lot of us are just seeing it the same way like we saw it 50 years ago, man. We still saying the same stuff. And it's like we haven't yet to even any degree. So no, there's nothing wrong. Your delivery is literally perfect and much necessary for this particular time. Seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're speaking it right.
And if we continue to laugh and sugarcoat and the comedians telling the jokes, but we know they're not really jokes. When I listen to Dave Chappelle, yeah, it might be funny, but what he's saying is not funny. You know what I'm saying? We're getting cut down like fucking trees every day. And here's the other thing that is set up in order to stop our rise. And this has been in the works and the planning for decades. That when black men don't come together and talk about building things, then you're going to become a slave, because the children of these people that we give all our money to, they're going to be the new landlords. Our kids are not going to have anything because they're not taught to work. Because you cannot build anything by yourself. That's just not going to happen. So, when you look down the road, you can look 5 years from now. Where are the institutions that are going to train our people to do for self going to come from? We're flushing literally thousands millions of dollars down the toilet. Literally. None of these things that we possess have any accessory value. None of them. You can look good. You can ride down the street, probably pick up a couple of females. What's that going to lead to? You know, you can go out and buy $100,000 car, or you can build a store, take that $100,000 and get together with a couple of brothers and build something. That's not how we think. That is not how. The first thing when we get money is this gonna be get right back to them folks for nothing but garbage that can burn up if you stick a match to it. It's not gonna have any accessory value at all. So I just we talk about you talk about the NBA, right? And if you take three of those guys, man, and the salaries that they have, it could change a whole black city in like 2 days. It really could. So this is why, back to talk to the brothers again. This is why we have no respect. It's not because we can't do the things that we do. The lack of respect comes from the fact that we continue to give away our money, and then we continue to degrade each other and disrespect each other on a daily basis, and our women in the streets, and it shows that we have no regard for the Creator's laws at all. So you can't rise and be a creator if you continue to regurgitate all of the negative lies that have been told to us that we continue to born out. And then finally, in terms of us rising, black men have to say, okay, enough is enough. We have to get fed up with the condition that we're in. We don't have the respect of our women. We don't have the respect of our children, which is the first two most critical things. And how do we gain that respect? I don't care what woman you deal with. If a man doesn't have some type of, and I know they say a lot of our young women don't care about this. This is not true. This is something that's innate inside of the feminine energy. If you don't have no respect for yourself, you know what I mean? If you don't have something about you where you want to improve society or improve yourself or just make the world a better place, because women are nurturers, and in order for them to nurture, they have to have some form of security, and they have to know that you think that way as a creator. And so this is where the breakdown of our families come in at too. We are the ones that disrespect our own family and our own children, not just financially, but in all other ways. So in order for us to rise, because one or two things is going to happen as we begin to rise and take on our natural karmic energy. Okay, you're either gonna rise with us, or either you're gonna continue to sink down. There's not gonna be any middle field. And this is the part of the Creator, the divine justice of the Creator that we don't comprehend as black men. Or we're gonna be held very liable and responsible. Okay, we are going to be liable. Don't think that all of this energy that you've been created and you've been given something that no other man has, that the Creator is just going to let go by without something. Because It's a natural part of the creator's energy. And when you go against that natural part, like these evil people have taught you to do, then you're going to suffer the same type of judgment that they are suffering. But lying to you that everything is peaches and cream. And so you are the one that now is standing in the gate. The keys have been handed back over to you, black man. What are you going to do with the keys? And I'm not talking about the keys to driving no damn car. Okay? You are now giving over the keys again to the planet. But if you continue to be led down this dark road, okay, where there is no sense of humanity, okay, where you have lost all of your sense of humanity as the original man, as the one who plotted out the stars, like Benjamin Banneker did, okay? But yet you look in the mirror and you walk away from that mirror and you forget what manner of person you are. That is what the real judgment of the black man is gonna be if you don't participate in the true rise. If you don't allow your butterfly spirit to rise and you continue to be a caterpillar, then you're gonna suffer the same judgment that caterpillars who can't turn into a butterfly suffer. And, you know, when I look at our brothers, even with all of the things that have been put against us, okay, with all of the attacks, we are still walking with our heads up. We are still overcoming tremendous odds. No other race of men could have been confronted with the things that we have been confronted with and still be sane and moving in a positive direction as we are today. That alone should tell you something. When they tried to kill, not tried, but when they killed millions of our brothers and sisters, okay, on the continent, when they killed millions of our brothers and sisters here on Turtle Island, when they slaughtered and hung our people from trees, when they put you out off of the plantations with no food, no money, nothing, just the clothes on your back, when they burn down all of your cities. Most people are not aware that there are a lot of black towns that are now underwater all over this nation. Okay. When they burned down, when they told lies and killed our brothers in the streets because of a lie from a white woman that said that they looked at them or did something to them. When our men are standing on street corners because they cannot get a job or they can't get money to build a business, you have to fight back. If you're crazy enough to not know that you are being destroyed and you won't fight back, you're not a creator. You're not a creator. If you're not standing for our people to help build, You're not a man. It's just that simple. Okay? You can walk around with all kind of colors. You can have these high-powered weapons. You think that make you something? You can get out here and do all of these degraded things to destroy the black seed. You can't call yourself a man. A black man, a real black man, is the protector of the planet. We don't think like those who are evil, who want to destroy everything that the Creator has put here, that want to weaponize everything against us. What black scientist you know ever wanted to create anything to kill human beings? What black man? And so I'm talking about the natural integrity that exists in the chakras of black men. And this is why we are going to rise. Not all of us, but only those that embrace who we are. Okay? Black men have never colonized any race of people or any culture of people. Black men have never destroyed civilizations, have never brought diseases, have never raped women from another civilization, have never killed and starved people. This is not in our makeup. So when you act in this way, you are not rising. When you don't know that a real man is a protector of all things created, when you allow this system to create an animal that can be exploited and that can be sicked on his own women, his own children, you are not a black man. Black men represent the seed of the universe. Our melanin is connected to the seeds of the universe. You cannot continue this behavior, this infantile behavior, and call yourself a real black man. And this is where this has got to begin. When you look in the mirror and you say, and a light go off, and you say, I am a black man, the primordial seed of the universe, the one who mapped out the stars. Okay? And you begin to see and walk in who you are, then we as a people will rise.
Yes.
We as a people will rise when we begin to see who we are. And no other demographic of people have the power that we have. This is why the Alphabet Boys and all these other institutions are focused on us daily. Because if you did not have the power that you have, nobody would be concerned about you. And so the deeper issue with this, and I'll end on this, brother. The deeper issue with us is that it's not just the fact that they want to destroy you as a black man, but this is the entity that's fighting against the creator-creatrix spirit, which you are a part of as a Netaru. You are a part of. But when you separate yourself from source energy, then you see the system as your God. And the people that run this evil system as your God. But when you return back to the natural laws of the Creator, then you will rise. And only then will you rise. All right, my brother, peace and blessings.
Brother, thank you so much. That was brilliant.
Yes, sir.
That was brilliant.
I know I
tell
kind
you.
of got in a zone there, but
if you say it again.
I said I know I got into a zone there, but you know, I'm real passionate about this subject.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, you know, it's
and there's some reason you look into this particular chat and don't see many people. It's because this week I had a strike against the channel because and it took my ability. No, but I worked around it. They took my ability to upload to live stream, but I have a backup channel which is LanceScurvLive. That's where we're on now.
Right.
And it's
okay. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. I'll be shut down for a week, but this will go up to the main page in the next 6-7 days. So,
really?
They shut. I used the backup.
So what did you say? What did you say to get shut down?
Low birth rates of the Caucasians. The negative birth rates. They didn't like that.
Oh no. Oh my God. Oh, okay. True. They got a problem with you.
Yeah, in 3 minutes it was shut down. And like they shut me down for a week. But I'm like, stopping me. I still got the site. I took the other channel and I let people know, hey, we're doing it here for the week. And when the week is over, it's not stopping me from creating. I'm still going to create every day, do shows every day, create stuff every day. But when the ban is over, I'm taking all of this, like what we're doing now, and I'm putting it up. You see what I mean? So I can put it up as a premiere.
Yeah.
Put it up, yeah. So no, that I'm not stopping. So it's still all over the place.
Oh no,
a lot of people haven't figured it out. We have Sister Master Glam here.
I'm sorry, who?
And a couple of the people that have been in and out. But yeah,
yeah,
Master Glam. I don't know if I'm going to say something or whatever, but I'll drop the link anyway because I know she has a lot to say all the time, and it's a brilliant sister also. So
did you want me to interact with anybody in here? Did you want me to interact? I know I never interact with, but yeah, I'll interact with.
Let me put the
the
link in here. Yeah, if you want to come in, Master Glam, I know you might be busy or whatever. It's you can come on in before he.
Master Glam.
It was brilliant, man. It's always good food when you come in and share with us what downloads you have inside of you. It's always a good thing. Let me
yes, sir.
Screen up and put my face up here. Let me see.
Okay.
Not that it's necessary.
Right. I'm here. No, it's good, man. Always good to see you. All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, she might be busy.
I like that setup in the back. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Or
playing
somebody
graphics and
oh yeah, I was saying that that reminded me of that CBS joint with Walter Cronkite back in the day. The setup.
The look you want to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to keep it professional. It's easy to do. But I like to put look, and keep it where it has a good look, the professionalism.
So is that a graphic?
Yeah, behind me here, behind this whole thing. We did that when we were talking. I said, remember I gave you the message and I said, well, listen,
okay.
With some of the great and do something new and layer it a different way. So now the possibilities are endless. So I can make every show super customized.
Right,
and even
right,
on the
right.
Future, when you see here's brother Frazier's Cash App right here. So make sure to show him
Oh
some
yeah,
support.
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Because I made that customized when the show started. I went and I said, okay, let me customize that. Because I was out a little
Right on. Right on. Well, I surely appreciate it, brother, because out
right,
here.
Right. The week is going to make it.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, this week is going to make it worse for the powers that be. We're going to do.
Oh yeah.
Show.
You're gonna hit them with a whole bunch at one time.
It means have a little more, make things better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's gonna come. Boom. You know what I mean? Plus what I do that day. So it's not stopping.
Oh yeah.
These things are done to this. They play the mind games, but I've been around too long.
Yes.
Oh, Master Glam is here. Let me open.
Oh, okay. Master Glam.
This.
Okay. Master
Your line
Glam.
is open, sister.
All right.
Your line is open. I don't think she realizes her line is open.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. I see it now, but because I was trying to listen to you guys, and I was trying to disconnect from my Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Just so I make sure that the connection is good. But it's interesting that you guys are talking about Black men today, and I know that Black men will rise. They've always, risen to the occasion, rose to the occasion. Throughout time. It's not like it's something that I don't think it's something that's unheard of. The dynamic might be a little different, but I think that Black men have always been there for us. They've always been there for their families. They've always been there for the other men in their lives, and try to encourage them to make better decisions.
Yes.
And hopefully that's something that we can continue to work on, because these days we really need it in the community, especially with the younger people, the people who are around my age, who were born in the 90s and the 2000s. There was a young girl who was murdered a couple nights ago in the city that I live in. She was murdered along with another gentleman, and I went to school with both of them, and they were killed in a drive-by shooting. And somebody just came down the neighborhood, speeding, didn't care who they were shooting at, and they killed her. And she just turned 30 years old a couple of weeks ago. She just found out she was pregnant.
That's insane.
She just found out that she was expecting her first child. And she's been trying to conceive actually for a while now. And it's so senseless how we can do these kind of things to our own. It's like we don't love ourselves, we don't care, and it's really heartbreaking, because now it's like two other families that are grieving. Like you didn't get your target, and then you killed not only two but a child, because you killed an unborn child. And it's just I don't know what it's going to take for the people in our community, the men, to love each other more, to respect each other more, to care for their lives more. And a big concern of mine is, where do they get these guns? Where do they get these type of high power weapons? And they live in the hood. It's just insane to me. And to me, I already know where they get it from. But it's just like, when is anybody in our community going to realize these things, start speaking about them? They're talking about going to these, these meetings, these, neighborhood meetings, or these town, city meetings. And that's just something that has been on my heart today. And it's just so funny that you guys happen to be speaking on Black men, because we do need to encourage them, especially, like I said, the ones that are, from the 90s, the early 90s, or excuse me, the late 90s, and the early 2000s, because they need help. These kids are out here and they're lost. They don't care about one another. They don't care about anyone's life, you know, and they're very emotionally unstable. You know, the slightest thing, a man or a black woman, it doesn't matter. Even it doesn't even matter about color either, really. But in the slightest thing could set them off. And it's like we're dealing with so much stress that it's like we don't even see what's really the root cause of all the pain that we're really, you know, suffering from on the inside. It's a manifestation. These things are a manifestation of the pain that, you know, our community is experiencing right now.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder.
100%. I agree.
You know, I heard a story a while back, and I heard it from several different people, and it was somewhere in California. I don't know if it was, because I don't know California like that, brother, but I heard it was Compton, Oakland, or somewhere out there. I know California is huge, but it was told to certain people over the internet and people that I've known in real life who grew up in that area. And they said that it was an open area. You know how you have like just an open dirt block where there's nothing going on, a big open area. Buildings around that. And one night there was a truck that came it can hold up a big box. Whoop! I'm over here. Let me just show you what I'm eating over here for those. This is a Ghanaian product, right? Dairy-free ice cream. And it's vegan, dairy-free, and all the other soy-free, all the other stuff. That's what I've been slipping. So garbage can. So I got to find another one. So I'll tell the story quick. But anyway, they said that this truck that had the forks in front of it, but it was huge. Came out one night about 3 a.m, went into this open lot and lowered this box. The box was made out of wood slats that you can hit and knock off. But it was a huge box, maybe 8 feet, 9 feet tall, and really wide, maybe about 10 feet wide. Whatever it was big. You're not moving this. Nobody's going to move this. And it sat there. And, you know, you had people who were on drugs. You had people who were normal, not on drugs. You know, young folks, old folks, they're like, what's going on with this box? And so people started to go look in. They saw all of this stuff in there. They couldn't make out what it is. And after about a week or two, finally, people like, let's go and see what's inside this box. So the hammer, boom, 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 and started to knock the slats off, pull it back. It was machine guns, a variety of machine guns just left there with the ammunition. Cops, nobody messed with it. Everybody the younger folks found out and got these machine guns and gone. I'm not saying it's that way all, but I don't know if that's, you know, an old wives' tale or whatever, but I heard it from so many people. And they do make it
I've heard
easier
stories like that.
They do make it easier to get. And for what? I mean, we think that we're in danger, but we're not if we only have the right mindset with each other. But we get what we need because we're scared of each other on so many different levels, like you said. It shouldn't be that way. And as I heard Master Glam speak about those who were born in the 90s, in the 2000s, I'm like, wow. Not that only does it make me realize my age.
You're right. Me too.
How far back, and we're all the same people, but because we came into this earth a couple of decades earlier, I could see the difference in the change. It hurts. No, it really hurts me because I see how maybe a few of us have made some kind of progress, but we're as strong as the weakest link. And it's no joke anymore because pretty much there's more behind me than there is ahead of me. And when am I going to see our people flourish? You know, en masse, get it together where the minority will be a few bad apples and we eventually, those will flush out, where we can think of each other as one, even though we all have individual talents and abilities and temperaments. But when you look at the Chinese, how they work as one and different people, and they all have issues. But what I'm saying is that we're first with this, and we're getting nowhere. We're regressing. I mean, it's to the point where sometimes, even the other day when I was with Miss SCURV and we were riding down into town, and I'm looking around even out here, how many people are just not aware on a basic level And we're thinking about most parasitic to each other. We don't even understand the unity. We're trying to get something from each other or smear each other. She'll tell you why I started crying. It was that I cried. I cried tears. But I was crying because it's almost like, and I'm not thinking this, but I'm like, all this stuff that collectively all of us are trying to do to speak some life into people. Is it going? It hurts. It's almost like you go to the school, elementary school, and you have a child in the play, not because they may mess up a line, but they go up there, start cussing and undulating, and say, oh my God, what is this? You know what I mean? Like you expect more. And it's not even like we're expecting so much more, but show me a little progress. And the grown people who have titles and they have these, titles and status and the letters behind their name, and they're just as bad, but they mask it with a good speech when somebody's shot. They die, show up, they play the role, but they're not really living it all day long. But a person, trooper who lives it all day long, you need to get more acknowledgement. You shouldn't have to put a cash app up. I should put a cash app up. We do this every day. Sure, the platform, we have a little fun here. I mean, just go ahead.
Oh, no. Right. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah.
You finished what you're saying, Lance. I was agreeing with what you were saying. That it's crazy that we have to do these things. It should be automatic.
Right. And these people who, especially, and I'm not jealous on anybody's pocket. It's not even about money, but it's
right. No, it's not.
You got these guys who they calling our sisters hoes and my nigga this and just decadent stuff, and people are slamming them with cash apps and slamming them with I'm like,
right.
History. I didn't come out here to hustle money, but it's to the point where you need, but you don't want to ask like, or you want to be looked at those other guys, but all that is going there, but you're trying to do something real and righteous, and people don't pay you no mind. Are they manipulating things or what?
Exactly. Yeah, and the thing about it too is when you're doing something on an independent basis for our people, you're not going to get any funding from nobody else but our people.
Right.
For the most part, everyone that is, and especially platforms like yours, everyone that has come out in defense of our people, they're standing on an island. And see, that's what the problem is. Not that they have to be standing on an island. It's just that we don't see the need to keep our independently based institutions solvent. Why should somebody have to tell you that you need to support your network when your network is? See, other cultures don't have this kind of issue, is what I'm saying. I don't know. I know where this comes from, but I don't know why we can't move beyond it.
Right.
When you look at our history, all of the independent Black networks that have tried to establish anything, they pretty much fizzled for lack of our people supporting them.
Right.
And so and I believe this has a big effect on our young people. Excuse me, like she was saying earlier, they don't see anything worth saving. It's like all for one and one for all. I have to go out here and get what I get by any means necessary, because there is no, and other cultures don't have this issue because the Jews, the Italians, and all the other, the Chinese, they make sure that money is put into things that their kids can benefit from. So if there's an independent, go ahead, Lance.
Well, I'm saying, and the funny thing is, when you mention these groups, the ones who are on both sides of the law will support the thing that GERS. That's what cracks me up. Both sides of the, you talk about the Italians, the ones who have legitimate businesses and were law abiding.
Right.
were involved in all kind of things and will snuff people out and go on the docks and they will also come to the same spot to know that there are people going to benefit from the righteous things that are done for all of them. And even they all to say, you know what, I'm going to support this. Even though they might be crooked and murdering people, they're still going to do that. They're people. Chinese do the same thing. Everybody else does the same thing. And when we do it, it seems like it's a photo op. It's not sincere.
In many cases, it is.
Yeah. Then we have to talk about that. Seriously. Because
we have to talk about that. We have to. That is a very important issue that we have to discuss. That's why we have to have black think tanks for men, because these issues are not going to go away. In fact, they're going to compound, because each generation feels like they have to build their own from scratch, and many kind of times that's the case.
It shouldn't be.
They have to create something. No, it shouldn't. They have to create something from scratch because there's nothing to build on. So I was having this conversation with someone one day, and he said, well, I said, well, how do you think the kids feel why they rebel so much? Is they got to go to the same people that we know that's been destroying us for hundreds of years. They are faced with the same thing.
Exactly.
But now they have to go to them for jobs. So, of course, they're going to learn how to laugh and joke in their face or do whatever they have to do. But then because they have to do that, it makes them dislike you more. Why haven't you built something that they don't have to go and laugh and bootlick with these people? They don't like doing it either. These kids hate that.
Wow.
But when they get a certain age, they start recognizing, hey, look, we don't have anything, so we have to do whatever we have to do. This is behind a lot of crime. In this country, if you don't have no money, you're not going to eat and you're going to live on the street. If you don't have a job, and this is not making no excuses for them, if you don't have own a business or have a job, where's the money going to come from?
That's right.
So what they taught our people was to implode. In other words, to be predators against our own community. And so we live off the trauma of each other, the trauma and suffering of each other. And in many cases, we create this trauma. And the kids, you can't blame them because they don't have another blueprint to go by. What you're going to tell them, all these other kids from other cultures riding around in these expensive new cars that our people have given to their parents. And now their generation that's why white people can't make this argument, oh, well, we didn't put you in slavery or we didn't have you. No, but you're benefiting from everything that we did as a result of that. And our kids are not. Yeah. Oh, hey, man. Hey, give me about another 15 minutes. I'll be with you. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's one of the youngsters I'm dealing with. So anyway,
if you got to go, brother, because we're going to have you back time and time again.
Yeah, my youngster is here. I told him at 2:00.
Pull up the appointment.
So, yeah. So, yeah, man, it's been great chopping it up with you, brother. Keep up the good work. Those hits from Ghana, man, they are very encouraging. Because, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
And to the young sister, thank you for coming on. We didn't get a chance to collab too much, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. I've listened to your shows previously before, and I do love it. I love the way you speak. You're calm, but yet you're passionate. You're educated, and thank you for coming on tonight. Well,
thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Brother Lance, as always, man, I can never find enough words for you, brother. Nibiru. And Just keep up the great work,
Thank you,
man.
brother.
And I'll be hooking up again with you soon, man, when you get out of the hell they got trying to put you
Don't
in.
keep us waiting too.
Their hell. Okay, brother. I'm gonna stay up with you, man.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Peace
you
and
so
love,
much.
brother. Okay.
Thank you. All right. Peace. Yes, Master Glam. Thank you for coming on in. And like I said, I don't know if there's anything more that you wanted to say, but we're here. And like I said, we're gonna keep on rolling, and give me some show ideas. I mean, we can still do some stuff during the week, even though I'm on a band on the other channel. But like I said, I'm gonna still keep on creating all over the place and make some content. So I can't believe how fast the week went. Man, tomorrow's Friday. Unbelievable. But anyway, sis, I will talk to you, and let me know if you have any difficulty getting into that new platform. And we're just gonna mold everything to make it easier for everybody. And it'll take a while for everybody to understand. So, we're gonna keep on growing, making things better. Like I said, beginning of 2023, we're gonna make things better on this side of the world. You know what I mean? And more interactive where if there's anything you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. Because I dare anybody to bring up any type of topic, we're going to talk about it. We don't run away from nothing. We're going to talk about it. Master
Yeah,
Glam?
we do need to talk about it. It's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about. And I'm so grateful for you, Lance, and the platform that you've created, the platform that you've just nurtured, and oh my God, just we're very, very, very grateful for you because a lot of the messages that you have out here, like every day is a different nugget. Like every day, and it's like so many different nuggets. Like these are the treasures that our community needs. And like I was saying, like, we can do this. It's not rocket science. We need to have more compassion,
Yes.
and it really starts with spirituality and us accepting ourselves and loving ourselves, creating the right environment for our children, for our families, healthier environments for them so that we are healthier and we are healthier people. Because once we're healthier physically, emotionally, a lot of things will start to change for us. And I believe that will come for us. I believe that each and every day that there is a new change that is going to come about for our community. And it may take us a while for us to see some of those changes in
Maybe.
certain areas,
Mm-hmm.
but we will see it. We will see it. And I like I said, it starts with the spirituality, and we will continue to talk
Yeah.
about that. I will talk to you later in the WhatsApp,
Yeah.
because I do want to do the shows, but I am a mom, so
I
there's
know.
they're always here, there's
Haters,
always noise and stuff like that.
just let me know.
And like the messages. What?
Just let me know whatever you want to talk about, and I will set it up.
Yes, but
I'll set it.
I really like find that the messages that we have, like the words that we want to share, are very important. So that's why sometimes, I might not come on, when I want to, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, but I want people to like, really hear me and really feel what it is that I'm trying to say. Because I do respect your platform and I respect our people. But we're gonna get there. It's gonna take us time. Our men will rise, our women will rise, we all will rise. It's just gonna take us a long time, because whether people want to admit it or not, it has taken us, Black people all across the planet. It's taken us a long time to really find ourselves in the balance of, so-called where we used to be, and you know those type of things. But I believe that we will get there little by little, because we're awakening each and every day, and it's not something that is to be taken so lightly. It's something that's very important. And when something is very important, you want to give it your time, you want to give it
Yes.
your compassion, and just every bit of you. So it's going to take time, but we are going to get there. It's already
Yes, sir.
happening. It's already happening.
to get in. But I'm an artist. I have the patience and the everyday stick-to-itiveness. When you cultivate something and you love it, you know, you mold it and you look at, you hold it this way, you hold it that way, you perfect it. I mean, not perfect. Maybe we can't make anything perfect, but we can perfect it. We can move closer to making it better if we apply ourselves every single day. And there's a joy in that every single day when the sun goes down and you've been working on something, even if it's something minuscule, it's something minuscule that you brought it up a level for that day. And that thing that you accomplished justifies that day. That's for me, that's the kind of mindset that I have. 22 years out here on these internet streets, and I have just as much enthusiasm for what I do because it's just stroking it like a pen, a pencil, a paintbrush. Every single day, it may not look like a lot, but when you add day after day and 7 days a week, 30 days a month, 365 days a year, and you step back, other people know everything hits them at one time and they see all the work from each part of the day. And even you as an artist, and I don't mean you just have to be an artist, but you're concerned for the community, right? You're an artist. You want to make it better. You want to perfect it. You see the things that may be flawed and you want to go in. So it's creative, it's loving, it's nurturing, still the spirit of being artists. And so you take your time, one child at a time, one adult at a time, one conversation on the bus, at the break room, at the job, supermarket checkout line. You exude this energy and it goes out into the world. It's a matter of time before your change comes, and you made a change, even though it seems like dry soil that always soaks up the water that you give is still going down to the roots, whether you know it or not. And even though I may not be here when everything comes back that I put out, but I can go to rest and transition, having a joy, knowing that I did so much, but I'm not even caught up in how much. Just every day you live this to know that you made a difference and validate your life with the purpose that you were put here for.
Yes, like you literally hit the nail on the head. Like literally, this is what it's all about. Like people think that we have to do something big and drastic. And even I myself thought like, you know, what kind of impact am I going to have? You know, like what is it that I can do? You know, I'm just this one person, but it's like you said, it's the seeds that we plant. Just like you talked about how you nurture and nurture and nurture your gift, you nurture your craft. Like, do you know how, like, for example, like if you're cooking something, like when you cook like spaghetti, that's one thing that I learned because I love cooking and I love food. And I started to learn that when you cook your pasta sauce, your marinara sauce, the longer the sauce cooks, with all of those herbs and stuff, those things that you add to it to give it flavor, to season it, the rosemary, the thyme, the onion, the garlic, the shallots, all of those things, those are little ingredients, just a little bit of the puzzle that is going to give it that big flavor, what you're waiting for at the end. But it takes time, and the longer that it cooks, the longer that it simmers, the more that the juices and everything comes out of those herbs, becomes extracted and creates that goodness that you're looking for. So this is the same thing with us. This is the same thing with our community. It's not going to change and it's not going to, happen overnight, but it is going to take that time. And we're going to appreciate it more. We're going to learn more because we're going to have that actual experience that you're talking about, through us going through these struggles and these things. So that's why I think it's essential. And I, like I said, right. You hit it right on the head because it takes time. It takes time, and the time is something that's good.
It brings a great joy to my heart. Whatever I do, it may be something that you don't see in the back end of the website that causes it to work a certain way, right? I'm going to make a graphic and link it to the Telegram room right from the site. That's what I'm going to do probably for the rest of the night because I'm going to detail it right and get it the right size and get everything just right. Boom, somebody will see that. I'm going to remove certain things or reduce certain things on the homepage of the website. You add some color here where there was none. You step back and you go look at it. I might have a conversation with somebody who's gonna or wants to be on the show. We're gonna discuss how we're gonna do it, what points. See, there's always something. I got some stuff coming this weekend. I got to reach back out to some of the people who want to come on. It's just beautiful. As long as you know, and then we can back up and tell some jokes sometime and have some fun. I may know people that reach out to me and say, Lance, I'm feeling down. Come on, man, let's act crazy and let's have some fun. And then it may not be me who started it, but I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to act a fool tonight and tell some stories. But we got to kind of keep it, you know, a little raw tonight. You know what I mean? And people say, well, why is he doing this? Well, there's somebody out there that needs that. We got to be able to laugh in the trenches and talk about certain things. So there's many gears on my vehicle, you know, not the car vehicle, but in ourselves. We speak many languages. I mean, I just speak English, but I speak many languages. I can reach lots of people different ways when I figure out their rhythm. It's like two boxers going out there. In the first round, they hardly throw punches because they're feeling each other out, seeing what they're vulnerable for. And as the fight progresses, they take some chances. Now I know your style. Now I know and figured out how to get to you. So with Black people, pretty much there's nobody out there that I can't reach. I'm not saying that to be braggadocious or some narcissistic thing, but I've been Black all life. How's a white man who studied Black people going to step in my neighborhood and tell me how to deal with my people because you read a book or you talked to somebody? This is the skin I'm in. I have the experiences. Many basically have had similar experiences under this colonial rule, whether they want to face it or not. And the very thing that they've inflicted on us is the very thing that can bond us together because we have similar experiences. You know, when you're in public and you see some little crack or some little racist person and you're in a store in the line, you look to a sister or brother that you never saw before, you don't even know them, and y'all know what that look means. It's like, okay, this is one of them. We got to deal with this right now. Just like a child knows its mother. The mothers, they may start to act a little bit, look at a certain way. Okay, I'm looking that way. It's a psychic connection. And they come with this negative psychic energy that's destructive against us, so we don't unify with each other. That's why they hate to see us speak in our own language that they cannot decipher. I had this white woman one time on a job many years ago, and I said something to one of the brothers there in a certain way. It was innocent, but later on she was asking other people, what did Lance mean? And she called me into the office. What does it mean when you said this and when you said that? And that was a long time ago too. She even went up on my MySpace page. And I was you know, a long time ago, it was speaking things to the job. And she went and she was a Karen, but she was a supervisor. And she called me into the office again because she saw some of my other things. And I let her know, I said, it's not really what I said on the page, in that particular page. It's the other stuff that you can't stand that I wrote. And I don't care because that's my own personal time. And as a matter of fact, going there tonight, I'm going to write more. I might write about you. So, you know, they can't. This is why I'll get a strike real quick, because they know they're waiting, braced. Okay, he's going to mess up. He's going to go across the line. And I didn't even cross the line, right? I even brought facts and appeals on it. And I know the decision. All right, go ahead, novel. They don't like to see this. And you're doing this, you know, every single day. They hold your numbers down. I'm supposed to be discouraged. Oh, he's almost 60 years old, so he'll get discouraged. No, I'm not. I ain't got nothing else to do except be all up in your backside for all the things that I've been through and to hit people to what we need to do from my experiences, where from your experiences, you can help other people too, because our experiences overlap. But there's certain things that are unique to you as a Black woman. There's certain things that are unique to you as a Black woman whose origins are from Haiti, right? There's all this overlap we got, and we mix it all together. We can become an impossible force to. A lot of us don't see that because we're all categories. They throw all the categories on us, LGBT, and I'm from North America, and I'm mulatto, and I'm mixed with this, and you know, I make this amount of money, and you're poor. So we fighting against each other over the categories. We all can't be brilliant and college educated. Look at the Chinese when they come over from China, And you have that older Chinese man or the father who don't speak a lick of Chinese, but he sent his kids out here before him and the wife who don't speak it to get with the other family members to go to school and learn the language so that when they come out with the real money and open up that fruit and vegetable market, those kids can work the registers and talk to the people and back everything up, and they'll be making their millions that way. And they'll use it as a farming system. And those elders probably never learn to speak English because they have their family around them that are going to go on after school to become the doctors and lawyers in that Chinese community in America. But we don't see the multifaceted part of it. I'm here in Ghana, walking around. You see us walking around. You're going to see us walking around tomorrow. And I'm seeing the opportunities. And the folks that are here sometimes that do have attitudes or think you're a threat to them, you know, they don't want to you're talking about, and you tell the sisters, like, listen, this stuff here is so inexpensive. If we can bond and have a connection on an international level, we can make so much money and make it where we can serve each other. We make that money on this side. We can build like a big hotel-like space and have schools send children out here, you know, under good supervision with their teachers and their parents, and they can learn the motherland in different places. And, you know, we can join up that way. We don't think that way. We'd rather stay in the same little neighborhood we're in. We get a brand new car, got to go to one little job and pay and do overtime and don't go nowhere. And guess what? What are you doing for your children? To hell with that car. Get your little Corolla, get your little something, whatever, and think bigger than that. The clock is ticking. The time is running out. Not because I'm this age, because in my mind, I think forever. I'm going to transition. And like I said, I have more behind me than I do. Well, I'm almost 60. I'm going to be 120 years old. Yeah, that's cool if I am. But if I'm sitting here, you know, and can't do nothing, I don't want to be here. I want to be effective. I never think about like, oh, death is the end. That's just another gear. But if I can do what I do here on this level and be effective, that will guarantee that my next level will be something that will be easier to transition into. But if I have seeds of greatness inside of me and I sit here and I hate him, he think he all that. Oh, who she thinks she is? She ain't talking to me. Oh, they think they got more. Man, I ain't got no time for that. Today was the first day I even left out the house in 3 days. I got up and did my work right here. It got late. Got up the other day, did my work right here. It got late yesterday. And today is the first day. I just went down the road a little bit and came back. Boom, to do the show. And I'm on a band. For the week, I'm on a band. No, this got to go. Today's work has got to be made. And even if it takes a week for the other channel to see it, it's got to be completed. I can't sit here and do what? Pick my, oh, I got to do something to make things better. That's just the way I am. And anything that I do, work ethic and just having that vision. We need to have vision on what can be. I get excited when I see a blank piece of paper and I have my pen and I'm like, wow, I see what I can do with this. And I do it. And you're like, oh man, that's nice. I saw it already. Even with us improving as a people, we got to see ourselves better. We can't just see what's dished out to us in these freakish fashions, these men dressing. We got to visualize our own integrity in our fashion and how we carry ourselves. So many of our sisters think you got to be hanging out your clothes to be sexy. I've seen some sexy women who are covered from the neck down to the ankle, but they have such sex appeal and integrity mixed in with that you know it's a quality thing. Nobody wants somebody to run up and down the street and you can have them for $2. But it's that mystery and that it's a beautiful thing. So we need sisters like you, Master Glam, to help spread the word. You've experienced life and you know. You know what I mean? We have a certain brush in the picture of life. Your brush may have a certain color on it, maybe a certain size, maybe a certain category, but in the whole overall picture, I stroke it my way, you stroke it, and we get 1,000,000 strokes on there, and we can make a beautiful mosaic, a beautiful picture of all of these different conversations and experiences that we bring together. This is why I keep it this way. That's why I encourage people to come on to the show. I'm not going to censor anybody if you're talking something real. You know when people talking a stupid yin yang and whatnot, and they come with their egotistical agenda, whatever. When you're speaking sincere, that look, I'm not telling you, Lance, you still there? I'm kicked back enjoying the show. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like, Lance, you still there?
Yep.
I don't have to talk. Yeah. I got microphones and all kind of recordings, so I can pick up and do this stuff all day long. I don't have to interrupt nobody when they're sharing their experiences because I will learn something from it, even if we had similar experiences. And maybe I extract just 3%. Maybe I might have known already. Yo, I'm gonna let you go, my sister, because I know you want their mommy. You know what I mean? So, you know, you hit me up and let me know whatever you want to talk about or a suggestion for whatever. I'm here. I work with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Good people
Yes,
like
we're definitely gonna do some shows.
And you tell me. Yeah, you don't have to ask me. I know you good. You tell me. I'm gonna hook it up.
I started to actually record some stuff, and I was gonna send it to you.
Yeah, you can do that too. The longer the better. The longer the better. Just record it on WhatsApp. You know, swipe it up so your thumb don't start hurting. You know that chick when you're recording and talk away. Talk away. 2-3 hours if you want. I don't care. The longer the better.
Yeah, because we need it. And I just want to say, just lastly, just one more thing. Just like you were saying, you know, it's so many of us that are so different that I think that when people like hear us talking about like spirituality, or just our empowerment of Black people, they think that what we're speaking about, like it has like a certain type of look or a certain type of aesthetic, like they have to be that type of person, and that's not what spirituality is about. You know, we're all different, but we're here because of our spirit, because we spiritually connect with each other. We're all spiritually aligned. So this is really what it is that is connecting us together, even though we're all different. You know, we might hear messages differently or value certain things differently, or, you know, eat different types of foods and stuff. So if you hear something on the show and, you know, that's not, you know, how you're living your life right now, don't think that, oh, well, you know, I can't be this way because, you know, they're saying that it has to be this way, you know, because really then you're putting yourself back into the box of religion. So that's really something that I just wanted to say. That's the last thing I wanted to say. Just, I really wanted to get that across to anybody if they're ever feeling like, you know, they have to be a certain type of way to be spiritual, or they have to be a certain type of way. Even some of the things that we talk about on the show, you don't have to agree with everything that we talk about. But, you know, take what you from the shows and use it for what is good for you. That's the message.
Exactly. Look, when a person goes to Golden Corral, do they all line up and get the same stuff? Some plates look completely different. For those who don't know what Golden Corral is out of the country, it's an all-you-can-eat kind of buffet kind of place, right? And they line up the food, and you can pick, oh, I want some broccoli, I want some potatoes, or I want some of that cheesecake, I want this, I want that. No one says you take the same amounts of the same certain foods. You can't eat all of it. Even if you took a spoonful of each one, you'll bust, and you have a sick stomach too from all those different foods, right? You do it the way you want to do. We all walk different. We all talk different. We all swim different. Those of us who know how to swim, but it's the same overlapping experience according to how we are. We can learn from each other. And like you said, take the parts that you can absorb. And you may think that, well, I can't do this or do that way. And later on you can, because you understand it. You see what I mean? So put it on the shelf and understand that that's their experience, but you can learn from that. Spiritual thing, free flow, all bonds us all together, that frequency. And remember, we're so diverse as a people all over the world, different countries, different cultures, different mentalities coming out of certain things, different traumas, different good things. It's so much. How are we going to get to this same monolithic point after 60, 70, 80 years? Okay, we're all as one. No, it's always going to be different. If I give you a chicken to cook and I cook it, Miss Scurv cook it, it's going to be a different flavor. I might burn mine. I don't know, because I don't know how to cook like that. But all I'm saying is that we're different. Embrace that. But we're all family at the end of the day. Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much. And I know that you have your young ones to deal with right now. I'm going to wrap this down. And yes, she's out right now. So yeah, I don't have to put any fancy banners around. I'm going to leave it like this. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow at 10. I keep saying 10 because it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This ended up being the evening show. It was a little early because Brother Neil Frazier wanted to do it at the time that was good for him. And he's on the West Coast, and I'm way over here, 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. So I was like, okay, we compromise and do it around 8. So right now, we already know that it's what time is it now for me? What time? 10:38 for me. So I'm 38 minutes into the time that I was doing the show, but most people don't know because I'm on a ban. So I have to wait to download this one over to the other channel. And for those who follow instructions and know I put it out there enough, if you didn't see it, you'll see it eventually. Anyway, much love to you all. I will see you all. We play a little music here, and we'll head on out. Okay, what am I going to play here? All right, we'll do that. Take care, everybody. Much love to you.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out of my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked on to his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the goat. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents' cruelties of the worst sort. Burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow. Like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa. With every ounce of strength and breath, his cry is give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come, wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up the whole world to tell, our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.